country, trains often had to be dug out. Much of the news of the coal shortage, some might call it a crisis, has centred on the Austin Motor Works, Birmingham. Last year's emergency has been repeated, and in spite of official statements that the matter is under constant review, Austin's, among other important industrial concerns, ran out of coal. This temporary stoppage obviously means a heavy loss in exports, and of course there's always the danger of unemployment. Here's Mr. Lord, Chairman and Managing Director, walking through the deserted works. With production suspended, the guaranteed week might cost the company over £37,000 a week. Movietone interviewed members of the Works Joint Production Committee.
Mr. Bird, you represent the workers at this plant?
Yes, we're members of the Joint Production Committee. There's Mr. Higgins, Mr. Mason and Mr. Dewsbury.
But how are you affected by this coal shortage, Mr. Bird, directly?
Well, we require 1,800 tonnes per week to keep this plant in full production.
And how much more coal do you need to keep it warm?
Well, we require 800 tonnes just to keep the plant warm.
At the time, Mr. Blackburn, Socialist member for Kings Norton, who's been very active on Austin's behalf, had this to say.
Mr. Bird and his colleagues are right. But we mustn't blame the miners, who are doing a grand job. In fact, output in the nationalised mines is higher than in previous years. Part of the difficulty is that we all consume far more coal in the form of gas and electricity in the home than we did before the war. A higher standard of living all round means more coal consumed. But a shutdown of Austin's is a serious matter. Roughly, it means losing the better part of $1 million a week. Remember, we're living on tick from America and Canada to the extent of £300 million a year. We must produce more exports if we're to keep our standard of living. Frankly, I don't agree with the way in which the government has recently handled coal distribution. I think the plan was too rigid and inflexible. Bureaucracy is a great danger to us, whatever our politics, and we must crusade against it. We must have enterprise, 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 whether it's public or private enterprise, and I believe in both.